Hello students, today's class we are going to discuss numerical problems from the first unit of calorimetry. First we discuss what are all the expressions we are going to use it for solving the numerical problems from this unit. First one, C dash is equal to Q by delta T, where C dash represents heat capacity, Q represents the quantity of heat energy, delta T represents change in temperature. Then specific heat capacity C is equal to Q by M delta T. In this expression, C represents specific heat capacity of the substance, Q represents quantity of heat energy, M represents the mass of the substance, delta T represents change in temperature. Yes, and the relation connecting C dash and C are C dash is equal to M into C. Yes, from all these expressions I write the expression for Q. That is, from the first expression I can write Q is equal to C dash delta T. From the second expression I can write Q is equal to MC delta T. MC delta T. Below this I write what each letter we have used in this expression represent. Already in the electricity chapter we have studied electric power is equal to energy by time. Here we are using the symbol Q for energy, and time we are going to use the symbol T. This expression we have studied in electricity. Electric power is equal to energy by time. Now I write what each letter we have used in the expression represent here. C dash represent heat capacity or thermal capacity. The SI unit of heat capacity is Joule per Kelvin. Yes. Next one, specific heat capacity. The specific C represents specific heat capacity. Specific heat capacity whose SI unit is Joule per kilogram per Kelvin. Okay. And in this expression Q represents quantity of heat energy. That is, it represents the energy. Q represents the energy. The SI unit of energy is Joule. Next one, delta T. Normally T represents the temperature. Delta T represents change in temperature. Delta T represents the change in temperature whose SI unit is Kelvin. Okay. Next one, delta T is equal to final temperature minus initial temperature when there is a rise in temperature. That is, delta T generally represents change in temperature. If you are heating the substance, the temperature of the substance will be increasing. So delta T will represent increase in temperature. In the case of increase in temperature, it is final temperature minus initial temperature. We write final temperature minus initial temperature on heating the substance. Okay, when there is a rise in temperature, that means. Next one, same thing, delta T we write it as initial temperature minus final temperature. This is when the body is on cooling. That is, when the body is liberating the heat energy, the initial temperature of the body will be more than the final temperature. That time we write initial temperature minus final temperature will represent delta T. That is change in temperature. So delta T generally represents change in temperature. On heating we call delta T as rise in temperature. On cooling delta T represents fall in temperature. So if delta T represents rise in temperature, then it is final temperature minus initial temperature. If delta T represents fall in temperature, then the expression is initial temperature minus final temperature. Okay. Then M represents mass of the substance. The SI unit of mass of the substance is kilogram. Next one, C dash already we have represented P. P represents power. The SI unit of power is watt, which is represented by the symbol W. Small t represents time. Capital T we have represented for temperature. Small t we are using it to represent time. The SI unit of time is second. Yes. So you have to be very clear with all the expressions we have studied in the first unit of calorimetry. First one, the expression for heat capacity, the expression for specific heat capacity, the relation connecting heat capacity and the specific heat capacity. From these two expressions, we have written the expression for quantity of heat energy. Q is equal to C dash into delta T. Q is equal to MC delta T. Power is equal to energy by time. Yes. So all the symbols what we have used here, I have written what it represents and its SI unit. Yes. Then refer your textbook for questions. Page number 270. All the exercise numerical problems I am going to solve in today's class. Okay. Keep the textbook with you, then you can refer. Page number 270, numericals. First question is, by imparting heat to a body, its temperature rises by 15 degrees Celsius. What is the corresponding rise in temperature on Kelvin scale? That is, the first question, delta T is given. Yes, that is, its temperature rises by 15 degrees Celsius. Temperature rises by means should be temperature is represented by the symbol T. Change in temperature, rise in temperature or fall in temperature is represented by the symbol delta T. Here delta T is given as 15 degrees Celsius. You are asked to calculate what is the corresponding temperature in Kelvin scale. Okay. Kelvin scale also, the 15 degrees Celsius is equal to 15 Kelvin in Kelvin scale. Okay. I'll tell you why. In the Celsius scale, if you take a Celsius scale, the melting point of ice is 0 degrees Celsius. Yes. And the boiling point of water in Celsius scale is 100 degrees Celsius. In between the melting point and boiling point, the Celsius scale is divided into 100 equal parts. Okay. Now take the Kelvin scale. Okay. And in the Kelvin scale, the melting point of ice is 273 Kelvin. Similarly, the boiling point of water in Kelvin scale is 373 Kelvin. Yes. So, in between the melting point and the boiling point, even in the Kelvin scale, it is divided into 100 equal parts. So, both in the Celsius scale and the Kelvin scale, in between the melting point and the boiling point, it is divided into 100 equal parts. So, every 1 degree rise in Kelvin is equal to 1 degree rise in the Celsius scale. So, if delta T represents the rise in temperature, if the rise in temperature in the Celsius scale is 15 degrees Celsius, then the rise in temperature in the Kelvin scale is also equal to 15 Kelvin. Okay? Because both of them are divided into equal parts between the boiling point and the melting point. So, every rise in Kelvin scale is equal to every rise in the Celsius scale. So, if the rise in temperature in the Celsius scale is 15 degrees Celsius, then in the Kelvin scale also it is equal to 15. You represent by the unit Kelvin. Yes. So, the change in what is the corresponding temperature in the Kelvin scale? In the Kelvin scale, the corresponding temperature delta T is equal to 15 Kelvin. Okay. I want you to write all the answers in final answer. You write it in a statement. Write ANS and write the final answer in a statement. Okay. Come to the second question. Calculate the heat capacity of copper vessel of mass 150 gram if the specific heat capacity of copper is 410 joule per kilogram per Kelvin. In this question, the mass of the copper is given. The mass of the copper M is given as 150 gram. But we know that the SI unit of mass is kilogram. So we have to convert this one into kilogram. When you are converting gram into kilogram, 1000 grams is equal to 1 kilogram. So 150 gram is equal to 150 into 10 power minus 3 kilogram. Okay. Next one they have given, if the specific heat capacity of copper is 410 joule per kilogram per Kelvin. So specific heat capacity of copper we represent by the symbol specific heat by C. For copper you use the symbol Cu. Okay. Which is equal to 410 joule per kilogram per Kelvin. So specific heat capacity is given in SI unit. So we need not change the unit here. You are asked to calculate the heat capacity. Yes. So heat capacity, we know that the expression for heat capacity is C dash is equal to Q by delta T. But here specific heat capacity is given. So in terms of specific heat capacity, we know the relation connecting the heat capacity and the specific heat capacity, that is heat capacity C dash is equal to M into C. Okay. Since the specific heat capacity is given, you are asked to calculate the heat capacity. We know the relation connecting heat capacity and the specific heat capacity is C dash is equal to MC. Substitute for M and C. M is 150 into 10 power minus 3 and specific heat capacity is equal to 410. So substitution place, you don't do any simplification. For simplification, use the rough column. Okay. Here 150 into 10 power minus 3 into 410. So 1 0 2 zeros you can cancel. So you will get here 10 power minus 1. 10 power minus 1 means this I can write it as 15 into 4.1. On multiplying 15 by 4.1, you will be getting, this is equal to 61.5 joule per Kelvin, because the SI unit of heat capacity is joule per Kelvin. We have substituted all the quantities in SI unit. So finally what answer you are getting, that you can directly write it in SI unit, because we have substituted mass in kilogram, that is the SI unit. We have substituted specific heat capacity also in SI unit. So automatically you will be getting heat capacity in SI unit. The SI unit of heat capacity is joule per Kelvin, which is equal to 61.5 joule per Kelvin. The zeros and all you can cancel it for 10 power minus 3. So 10 power minus 1. 10 power minus 1 into 41 you can write, that is divide by 10. 41 by divide by 10 is equal to 4.1. Then you multiply. Okay. 115 is 15. Remaining 1. 4 15s are 60. 60 plus 1 is equal to 61. After one digit you have to place the decimal point. So the answer is 61.5 joule per Kelvin. So C dash is equal to 61.5 joule per Kelvin. This is the answer for the first part of the question. Okay. Second one, they have asked, how much heat energy will be required to increase the temperature of the vessel in the first question from 25 degrees Celsius to 35 degrees Celsius. That means delta T is given as 25 to 35. Yes. Here it is given increase. When the temperature increases on heating, I told you, final temperature minus initial temperature. Delta T represents final temperature minus initial temperature. Here final is 35 degrees Celsius. Initial temperature is 25. So 35 minus 25 is equal to 10 degrees Celsius. Then you are asked to calculate how much heat energy will be required. We can use two things. One is Q is equal to C dash into delta T, or we can also use Q is equal to MC delta T. When you use Q is equal to C dash into delta T, C dash is equal to 61.5 and delta T is equal to 10. Here delta T is equal to 10 degrees Celsius is equal to 10 Kelvin. From the first question you can see every rise in temperature in the Celsius scale is equal to equal rise in the Kelvin scale. So 10 degrees Celsius I can write it as 10 Kelvin, which is equal to 615. The SI unit of heat energy is joule. So Q is equal to 615 joule. Here M is equal to 150 into 10 power minus 3 into specific heat capacity is given as C is 410 multiplied by delta T is equal to 10, which is equal to, next line for simplification you write in the next line and then do the simplification. Whenever you do the substitution from the expression, don't simplify in the same line. Okay. The 10, here see 10 power minus 3, 1, 2, 3. So you have 15 into 41. So 115 is 15, remaining 1, 4 15s are 60, 61. 615, SI unit of heat energy is joule. So Q is equal to 615 joule. Any one of the method you can do. You can either use the expression Q is equal to C dash delta T, or you can use the expression Q is equal to MC delta T. Yes. Come to the third question. A piece of iron of mass 2 kg has a heat capacity of 966 joule per Kelvin. Find the heat energy needed to warm it by 15 degrees Celsius. Also, you are asked to calculate the specific heat capacity. First, we write the data. A piece of iron of mass 2 kg. So, mass of iron is given as 2 kg. Yes. has a heat capacity of 966 joule per Kelvin. Heat capacity is represented by the symbol C dash. Value is given as 966 joule per Kelvin. Yes. You are asked to calculate the heat energy needed to warm it by 15 degrees Celsius. Warm it by means delta T is equal to increase in temperature. So delta T is given directly as 15 degree Celsius. Now you have to calculate, you are asked to calculate heat energy Q. So Q is equal to, we know that in terms of heat capacity, Q is equal to C dash into delta T. C dash is 966 and delta T is equal to 15. On multiplication, 6 15s are 90. Remaining 9, 6 15s are 90. 90 plus 9, 99. Remaining 9, 9 15s are 135. 135 plus 9 is equal to 144. So 14,490. SI unit of heat energy is joule. So 14,490 joule is the answer for the first question. Okay. Next one, they ask you to calculate the specific heat capacity in SI unit. Yes. Here delta T is equal to 15 degrees Celsius. You write which is equal to 15 Kelvin. Okay. Before doing the problem, you check whether all the data you have written in the SI unit. Mass is given in SI unit, so we need not bother about it. Heat capacity is also be given in SI unit. Delta T is given in Celsius, but degree rise in Celsius scale is equal to degree rise in Kelvin scale. Next one, specific heat capacity. Specific heat capacity C is equal to two things we can use. One is Q by N delta T, or you can also make use of the relation connecting specific heat capacity and the heat capacity. For the relation connecting heat capacity and specific heat capacity is C is equal to C dash by M. Okay, this expression also you can use it for calculating specific heat capacity. Both you can use. So if you use in this expression, heat capacity is given as 966 and the mass of the substance is equal to 2 kilogram, which is equal to 4 2s are 8, remaining 1, 8 2s are 16, 3 2s are 6. 483. The SI unit of specific heat capacity is joule per kilogram per Kelvin. Come to this method. Q already have calculated 14,419 divided by mass is 2 kilogram. Delta T is equal to 15. Okay. Do the simplification in the next step. 14,490 divided by 2 into 15. Yes. If you cancel it by 2, you will be getting 7 2s are 14, 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8, 5 2s are 10. By 15, if you cancel it, you will be getting in 72, you have 4 15s are 60, remaining 12. So 124 you will have. In 124, you have 8 15s are 120, remaining 4 45, 3 15s are 45. So 483. SI unit of specific heat capacity is joule per kilogram per Kelvin. So C is equal to 483 joule per kilogram per Kelvin. This is the answer for the second part of the question. Finally, write all the answers in the statement form. Okay. Come to the fourth question. Calculate the amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature of 100 gram of copper from 20 degrees Celsius to 70 degrees Celsius. Specific heat capacity of copper is given as 390 joule per kilogram per Kelvin. Here mass of the substance is given as 100 gram. So gram you have to convert it into kilogram, that is 100 into 10 power minus 3 kilogram. Yes. Next one, the change in temperature of copper is given as 20 degrees Celsius to 70 degrees Celsius. Change in temperature is represented by the symbol delta T. Here on heating, so final temperature minus initial temperature, 70 minus 20 degrees Celsius, which is equal to 50 degrees Celsius. Change in temperature 50 degrees Celsius is equal to 50 Kelvin. Specific heat capacity of copper is given as, specific heat capacity we represent by the symbol C, which is equal to 390 joule per kilogram per Kelvin. Yes, you are asked to calculate the quantity of heat energy. So directly you can substitute in the formula. Q is equal to MC delta T. All the quantities we have represented in SI unit. So directly you can substitute in the expression. Mass is 100 into 10 power minus 3. C, specific heat capacity is 390. and change in temperature is 50. Yes, once again you rewrite it for simplification. 100 into 10 power minus 3 into 390 into 50. Yes, 2 zeros and here 1 zero you cancel. So 10 power minus 3. So here you have 39 into 5. 39 into 5 means 9 5s are 45. Here you have 50. Yes. On simplification we will 0. 9 5s are 45. Remaining 4. 3 5s are 15. 15 plus 4 19. So 1950. SI unit of quantity of heat energy is joule. Yes. Q is equal to 1950 joule. You are asked to calculate the quantity of heat energy. See, whenever you are substituting that line, please don't cancel it. Expression, substitution. Then you do it in the rough column, the simplification, then write the answer here. Yes, wherever you have substituted in the expression the values, don't simplify in the same step. Okay. Next one, fifth question. 1300 joule of heat energy is supplied to raise the temperature of 0.5 kilogram of lead from 20 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. Calculate the specific heat capacity of lead. Yes. Here the quantity of heat energy is given, Q is given as 1300 joule. And the mass of lead is given as 0.5 kilogram. Yes. Next one, the change in temperature is given as delta T is equal to 20 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. That means rise in temperature means final temperature minus initial temperature. Yes. And you are asked to calculate the specific heat capacity. We know that specific heat capacity is equal to Q by M delta T. Now we have to check all the units. SI unit of heat energy is joule. It is given in joule. Mass is given in kilogram. Delta T is equal to 40 minus 20 is 20 degrees Celsius, which is equal to 20 Kelvin. Yes. And Q substitute 1300 divided by M. M is 0.5 and delta T is equal to 20, which is equal to 1300 divided by 5 20s are 100. 0.5 into 20 is equal to 10, which is equal to 130. SI unit of specific heat capacity is joule per kilogram per Kelvin. That is C is equal to 130 joule per kilogram per Kelvin. Yes. Come to the sixth question. Find the time taken by 500 watt heater to raise the temperature of 50 kilogram of material of specific heat capacity 960 joule per kilogram per Kelvin from 18 degrees Celsius to 38 degrees Celsius. Assume that all the heat energy supplied by heater is given to the material. Okay. So the sixth question. First statement, they have given the power. Power is given as 500 watt. Right. Next one, next line they have given. The mass of the substance is given as 50 kilogram. So M is equal to 50 kilogram. Yes. Next one. Specific heat capacity is given as, C is given as 960 joule per kilogram per Kelvin. Per Kelvin. And the change in temperature is 18 degrees Celsius to 38 degrees Celsius. So delta T is equal to 38 minus 18. Whenever there is an increase in temperature, final temperature minus initial temperature, which is equal to 20 degrees Celsius, which is equal to 20 Kelvin. Okay. And you are asked to calculate the time taken. Okay. First we calculate quantity of heat energy. Quantity of heat energy Q is equal to MC delta T. Mass is given as 50 kilogram. C is given as 960 joule per kilogram per Kelvin. Delta T is given as 20. So simplify this one. $50 into 960 into 20. 2 into 50. 2 50s are 100. 20 into 50 is equal to 1000 into 960, which is equal to Q is equal to into 10,000 I write it as 10 power 3, SI unit is joule. So 960 into 10 power 3 joule, the quantity of heat energy. But you are asked to calculate the time taken. We know the relation connecting energy, power and time. That is, power P is equal to energy Q by time. Here you are asked to calculate time T. So I can write the expression for time T as T is equal to Q by P, where Q represents energy, P represents power. Q is equal to 960 into 10 power 3 and power is given as 500. Yes, this I can write it as 960. 10 power 3 can be written as 1000 divided by 500. So here 1, 2, which is equal to 0, 2 6 are 12, remaining 1, 2 9s are 18, 18 plus 1 is equal to 19, 1920. You have calculated time, that is SI unit of time is equal to second, that is this much of second, right? Which is equal to, we have to, sorry, SI unit of time is second, we have calculated the time. So time T is equal to 1920 second. In your textbook it is given in minute, but don't all the answers according to our ICSE board, all answers should be given in SI unit only. That is, SI unit of time is second. So you are expected to give it in second only, right?